This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
What's the latest with the Landon Dickerson meniscus injury and what happened in practice? That's what we're talking about. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Cover news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, also hosting Trending in the AM, amongst other things, on the STT Sports Network. Please subscribe to the STT Sports Network below, and please consider and watch the video that I have linked below as I'm running a raffle, raise money for Eagles Autism, raising money, giving away a Cooper DeJean signed football, an A.J. Brown signed photo, and there's also a Brandon Graham signed photo that's getting added to the prize. Check out the video, how to enter the raffle down below. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Guys, we've got more updates on Landon Dickerson. Later, after I recorded yesterday's episode, news came out that Landon Dickerson will need to have a surgery, but it's going to be a very minor surgery, and he's considered week to week. And there's considering chance that Landon Dickerson may be back by week 1, September 4th, when the Eagles kick off the NFL season against the Dallas Cowboys. This is best case scenario, best news possible. This is not a season-ending injury. Now, there is an argument to be made. Maybe they should be a little cautious considering he has had 2 ACL surgeries, 2 really serious knee injuries in the past. Maybe they push it off. Maybe he's not back by week 1. Maybe he's back by week 3 or something like that. But it is a great sign to know that there's a shot that he'll be ready week 1. So when practice kicked off on Tuesday morning, the first thing that we needed to see was who is going to be the left guard. Now, if it was a long-term situation, you might have seen Matt Pryor at right guard, Tyler Steen going to left guard, but no. And this definitely leans towards it being a short-term injury. Brett Toth was the starting left guard with the ones in 11-on-11 drills, 7-on-7 drills throughout Tuesday's practice. He also was doing some side work with Cam Jurgens and Tyler Steen, the center and the right guard there. So it was really interesting to see that Darren Kennard, who had been working on the right side mostly throughout training camp, slid over and was the number 2 left guard in practice. So there's that information as well. Brett Toth, 6'6", 304-pound player. They've been trying to make him the backup center for a little while, and it wasn't working out well. So he definitely seems to be more fit and more better fit for that guard position. So I think that's what they'll do. If he's not ready, Landon Dickerson week 1, and it's going to be a very short time he's out, looks like the first man up for the job is going to be Brett Toth. All right, so with practice in general, Elijah Cooks, Landon Dickerson, Kenyon Green, and Game Hall all did not practice. Game Hall got banged up in Sunday's practice as well. We're going to get back to that in a second. Kenyon Green seems to be somebody that's going to be out there saying he's week to week, and he's going to miss the rest of the preseason. Not good for a guy fighting for a roster spot. Personally, I would IR stash him so you can keep him in-house for the whole entire year and then deal with him in the offseason instead of just cutting him and losing him. Obviously, we acquired him in the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. Gabe Hall, there's a lot of expectations for him after the trade of Tyler Booker for Jacorian Bennett. And with him being banged up, the Eagles cut the backup long snapper Christian Johnstone and brought in defensive tackle Justin Rogers. And 2024, he was the 7th-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys. Played at Kentucky and Auburn in college. Spent some time last year on the practice squad with the Bengals. Nothing special, just a depth move there. But it just says that Gabe Hall might miss a couple practices this week against the Cleveland Browns and the joint practices and the preseason game. It was great to see Zach Bond and A.J. Brown back in limited. They weren't doing 11-on-11s or hitting or anything, but they're back in a limited fashion. It was a very short practice yesterday. Only 57 minutes, a lot of individualized drills because they know they're going to have two very intense practices in the heat, mind you, Wednesday and Thursday, starting at 10 a.m. in those practices with the Cleveland Browns. Some other notes from practice. Adoree Jackson was up first with the ones. So far now in practices open to the media, it's 8-time Adoree Jackson to 5 Keely Ringo, starting with the ones. Jacorian Bennett got some work in there. Eli Ricks had a good practice, but he was still on the third string. Kind of felt like he was taking a step forward. Seems like he's not. Mac McWilliams got some snaps out of the slot with the ones, so that's interesting to see as well. Drew Makuba, not Sidney Brown, got his first chance to start with the ones at safety when Cooper DeJean, who was still out there in base formation, which is rare, but Drew Makuba getting bumped up to the ones is a sign of things to come, I think, because just like Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson aren't doing themselves any favors in winning that starting cornerback job, Sidney Brown isn't doing himself any favors either. I fully expect Drew Makuba week 1 to be the main safety opposite of Reed Blankenship when they're in that nickel formation, which is a majority of the time. He also got some snaps at dime again in the slot. Jalen Hurts had a great short practice there. Connected on great passes. Jahan Dotson and Dallas Goedert. Again, Jalen Carter had a big day at practice. So that's all I got on the news and notes. It's going to be a big week with the Browns joint practices. I love the joint practices. I always say the joint practices are something that if they would stream them, I would actually pay to watch because they're just so fun. This is where you really learn about the ones, who's going to play, who's not going to play, and what we're really looking at. It's bigger than the preseason games, in my opinion. So real quick before I wrap it up, Peyton Manning was on the Chris Collinsworth podcast for PFF, and he had some really great things to say about Jalen Hurts. I just want to paraphrase because whenever I can hype up Jalen Hurts just a little bit more, I love to do it. He said that Jalen Hurts calls him to talk football, which so not only does he reach out to Tom Brady regularly, Michael Jordan regularly, now he's also reaching out to another Hall of Famer, all-time great, Peyton Manning. He says he likes to talk to Peyton Manning about specific questions and plays because he's such a student of the game. He's so cerebral, Peyton Manning said, in his studying of the game. He said he was asked if it's the one if he's one of the most intense people he's ever met. And he said he is the most intense, serious human being he ever met when it comes to football. So I just love to see it. Always learning, always trying to better himself, Jalen Hurts. So just another step forward in his greatness as a quarterback in the NFL. Anyway, guys, tomorrow we'll have a big jam-packed episode breaking down the first joint practice with the Browns, guys. Everybody have a great Wednesday. It's hot out there, so stay cool. Go Birds. Bubbles up.